Just a robot.
Now I know some of you are probably sick of me talking about this subject, but don't worry, after this I'm going to go back to what I normally do. But for now, I'm going to be talking about the commentary community. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I highly recommend you go see it. But for those of you who have already seen it, allow me to do a quick little recap. There's a lot of people who make commentaries on YouTube, so when I talk about the commentary community, I'm not talking about people who make commentaries in general. I'm not talking about people who make roasting commentaries, and I'm not talking about people who make political commentaries. Instead, I'm talking about a very specific group of commentators. Most of them use an avatar from either a comic book, video game, anime, or a cartoon. They're also not focused on commentating on one particular subject. They commentate on whatever they want. Despite how many members there are in this commentary community, they're not very popular. I've only found one channel that actually has over 5,000 subscribers, and he's more well known for his other content. Just remember throughout this video, whenever I say commentary community, I'm not talking about commentators like Bearing or Rory. I'm talking about commentators like Youngblood Fantasy 91. And yes, I did set that all up just so I could say, lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my.
To separate them even further from other commentators, me, along with a commentary group I'm a part of, decided to name them the Neo Commentary Community.
My name is Neo.
Now, I have known about the commentary community for some time. In fact, they were the first community I ever came across that actually did research so they could back their statements up with evidence, and that was very attractive to me.
The long line of modifications is a perfect example of consistency, something a few other organizations like Nike and Gatorade lack.
My God, the Nike logo is the epitome of consistency. It has not changed once. Ever. Yes, the business name was removed at some point, but the logo never changed. Based on that flawed logic, there's a lack of consistency for the logo histories of Shell, Kentucky Fried Chicken, NBC, Apple, Texaco, Chevrolet, General Electric, McDonald's, Buick, Prudential, Volkswagen, Mercedes. Do I really need to continue here?
But eventually, the commentary community started dying off, and I discovered other YouTubers who also did research to back their statements up with evidence. So I was very surprised when I ran into them again. But unfortunately, they went way downhill. Now, the old commentary community would nitpick a lot, but the Neo commentary community is on a whole new level. They complain about the tiniest things, like black borders.
Okay, before we start, I want to start this by saying that the fact that this video exists is a problem in itself.
You're goddamn right.
Anyways, if you happen to watch Ski Hound, or heck, watch my video on YouTube Dude 101, you'd somewhat know of a concept we jokingly labeled hashtag Black Borders Matters. You hear that? It was a joke!
Oh, okay. So you're not serious. It's just a joke.
That at the very least I should clarify some confusion that people have with the Black Borders complaint. Black Borders Matters is a suggestion, not a requirement.
Hold on a second. I thought you said it was a joke.
Hear that? It was a joke!
Is it a joke or is it a suggestion? You can't have it both ways.
If you, for one reason or another, are unable or don't want to remove Black Borders, neither Ski Hound or I will lynch you for doing so.
You say this, yet Ski Hound did an entire video on Doodle Tones just to complain about the black borders.
But anyway, Doodletones sent me a video asking if it was good. The answer to that is yes and no. So let's do this shit.
So, this is a thing I've had for quite some time. I've had the script written and looked at by 10 people now for a little over a month. That's personally longer than I like spending on things.
Okay, honestly, this is all I need to explain all the problems I have with this video. Starting with problem number 1. Namely, the fucking black borders, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Now, if you're wondering if I think black borders matter, I actually do. My video looks a lot better like this than if it looked like this. But to make an entire video about one mistake and make a hashtag about it too, just seems a little bit sad to me. Couldn't you just point this mistake out in a comment, or tell Doodle over Skype? I'm pretty sure you have her on Skype.
Like, okay, I get that it's not the end of the fucking world, but why is this still an issue with YouTube videos in fucking 2016?
It's the current year! It's the current year! Now, I'm not gonna lie, Skihound does make a few good arguments in this video.
Pretty much every fucking editor under the sun, including movie makers, support shit like 720 and 1080p. There is really no excuse for your video to not be full screen. And yeah, it doesn't make it unwatchable, but honestly, look me in the eye and tell me this doesn't make my video look worse.
Now, I do agree, presentation issues are important. And if you see someone with black borders in their video, you should point it out. But like I said before, flipping your shit and making an entire video about one little thing just seems like you're going a bit too far. Now, the whole black borders thing did cause quite a lot of controversy in the Neo commentary community. And as much as I like Ryan, I do have to disagree with him when he says this.
The worst we will do is not want to watch your videos personally, and that's it. Trying to in any way assume otherwise is illogical on every level, and I am tired of having to say this.
Given from what I have seen, Ryan, I don't think it's illogical to assume otherwise. And really, you're not going to watch someone's video just because it has black borders? Presentation is important, but what people say is more important. Sargon of Akkad used to have black borders in his old videos, but I didn't care. I cared more about what he was saying than how his video looked. Now, because the Neo-CC was complaining about very small issues, along with gaining up on anyone who disagreed with one of the bigger members, and the sheer amount of hypocrisy that was all over the place, a bunch of people from the Neo-CC, along with myself, created the Alt-CC. Now, a lot of people are confused about what the Alt-CC actually is, and they have a lot of questions. Luckily, I found a video that asked all the questions that people want answered.
Now, from what I've gotten with the information that's at hand from Dylan Thomas, apparently it's basically like a political commentary community.
It definitely has more of a political leaning, but someone can still be a part of the Alt-CC and not make political videos.
And from what I've seen, it actually has a lot of controversial people in there too. People like Darkscythe, and Mr. Inferno, Zam Hee Hee Hee, Immature God, Skihound, and Automagic Critic.
But not me? Am I just not controversial enough?
Will you be held responsible as a group member if one other group member decides to do something crazy?
Nope.
Now my next question is more so, what are you guys trying to accomplish with this? You guys say that you want to make change for the CC, but I don't exactly know what you mean by this. Sure, I can personally admit that there is a lot of problems with the CC community. But you know what, you can find problems with any community anywhere.
I really hate it when people say this. Yeah, our community has problems, but so does every other community. You'll never solve any problems with an attitude like that.
You guys seem to have very conflicting ideas in some cases. As an example, some of you want Doodletones to stop making commentaries altogether, when some of you just want her to change her way.
And that's one of my favorite things about the Alt-CC, the diversity of opinions. We do disagree on a lot of things, but one thing we all agree on is that a hive mind mentality is bad.
Now time for my next question. Why, Dylan Thomas, did you decide to remove your main channel from the Alt-CC members list? Because as I can see, you decided to do DHT commentaries as a new member.
This one should be pretty obvious. It's because his main channel mostly focuses on Sonic content, while his commentary channel focuses on, well, commentaries.
My next question is, how does one join this community? Are there certain requirements like a sub amount, or what type of commentaries you do? Because I've actually been interested in joining myself. Because all I really am is just an artist with a bunch of ideas, but mainly political ideas that seem to contradict the current SJW mentality.
There are a few guidelines, like don't leak private information, but other than that, all you need to do is make commentaries and be a free thinker.
Do I need a certain way of communicating with you? Like, do I need a Skype, a Facebook, or a Twitter?
You can use any of those. Just pick which ones you want to use.
Is there certain rules for this commentator community? Like you don't betray your own member by doing a commentary on that member. Are you supposed to have a certain political standpoint?
It doesn't matter what your political standpoint is. And just because you're a part of the same group as I am, doesn't mean I won't talk about you. For example, Ski Hound is a part of the Alt-CC, but I still talked about him. I will now be talking about, Yankee Doodle Dandy Tones. A common criticism I do hear about the Alt-CC is we talk about Doodle Tones too much, and I somewhat agree. But the thing is, Doodle Tones is one of the most popular members in the Neo-CC. She's pretty much the face of the Neo-CC at this point. She also has a ton of controversy surrounding her, like her alleged diaper fetish.
The fact that people legitimately believe that Doodle Tones had some kind of a diaper fetish is so monumentally stupid that it's almost not even worth talking about. But this is the Guide to Surviving the Internet, and we cover internet history, so we have to talk about it. Needless to say, everybody ran with it, and it earned her the embarrassing nickname Doodle Diapers. And no, I don't know who came up with that. It was either Jesus with Bazooka 79 Lives or some other stupid troll, I don't know.
It's pretty obvious that Mr. Medicare came up with the name, and he did have a reason for it.
Mental illness? What? What could possibly have made your grandmother think you have a mental illness? Oh, maybe it's, is it that? ABDL, Adult Baby Diaper Lover Role-Playing Group? Doodle Tones, or should I call you by your proper name? Doodle Diapers. Doodle Diapers, do you get off on shitting yourself?
There's more evidence to support that she has a diaper fetish. She drew one of her characters in a diaper, and yes, I do understand that it was on a dare, but you shouldn't do something just because someone dares you to do it, unless of course you want to do it. And I also believe she drew this picture. But it's kind of hard to tell, mainly because it's in MS Paint, and really, pretty much anyone could have made that. Now, does Doodle Tones have a diaper fetish? The answer is, I don't know, and I don't care. If she does or does not, I wouldn't think any more or less of her. What I do have a problem with are the people saying, "Oh, what do you mean Doodle has a diaper fetish? Oh, where did you get that from? There's no evidence to support that at all." I've said this multiple times, and I'll say it again. Doodle Tones, if you're watching this, I don't hate you. At all. Honestly, I'm more annoyed by your fan base than you. You seem like a person who doesn't like drama, and you want it to end as soon as possible. But other commentators want it to keep going, and because of that, people blame you for it. And I am sorry when that happens. I was actually quite shocked with how mature the Neo-CC was with their response to my last video, especially Dirtbike Redden, who I sometimes call Rainbow Dash, because he used Rainbow Dash as his avatar when he did a commentary on me. He said that his video on me was terrible, and he agreed with most of the things I have said. And honestly, Dirtbike Redden, that was very mature of you. It is very difficult to admit when you're wrong, and I'm guessing it was very hard for you to do. And this is me being genuine. I know it's kind of hard to tell because I constantly have a sarcastic tone, but I did really like your comment, it did make my day, and I just gotta say, thanks. I know you haven't made a video in a very long time and you want to improve, so I'm going to give you 3 pieces of advice. Number 1, you don't have to make commentaries. Make reviews, make top 10s, do what you want. Unless, of course, it's reaction videos. Those can fuck off. Number 2, don't be so emotional. You made a response video to me in less than a week. My video wasn't going anywhere. Take your time with a response. Give yourself 2 days to cool down before you make a commentary. Trust me, this will really help you out, and you'll have far less regrets. And number 3, and this is the big one, stop being so hypocritical. The fact that commentators use the argument, just because I'm a hypocrite, it doesn't make me wrong. It just shows how far gone you guys are. Honestly, I haven't heard anyone but you guys use that argument. True, being a hypocrite doesn't make you wrong, but people will take you far more seriously if you actually practice what you preach. Honestly, when most people think about the commentary community, they think of a bunch of people who can't make videos, who tell other people how to make videos. And when you call them out on it, all they can say is, oh, well, yeah, we do that too, but that doesn't make our points wrong. Take the block of wood out of your own eye so you can see clearly enough to take the grain of sand out from someone else's eye.
My eyes have seen the glory of the cleansing of YouTube, debunking SJWs and feminazis too. We criticize reactionists in hopes they get the boot, just to roll on marches on.